All right, guys. All right, we're going to talk about today is CRM. And most of you guys have heard CRM, know what CRM is, but for those of you who don't, is CRM stands for Client Relation Management. Okay, it's a system uh, which you can stay in touch with, communicate with, and manage the relationship with your clients. And so, let me ask you guys a question. What do you think is your most valuable asset in your real estate business? All right. Well, here's what I think it is, and from the research I've done, your number one asset that you have in your real estate business is your customers. All right. Without buyers, you're not a buyer agent. Without listings, you're not a listing agent. And so, really, without buyers or sellers, we don't have a business. So, our number one asset is our client or client base. So, wouldn't it make sense then to have some kind of system in place that would help you stay in touch with them, gather information on them, know what they want or what they need, and then provide them with that information, right? That's what your CRM can do. I want you guys to kind of think of it this way. Imagine having a assistant working for you 24/7, 365 days a year. And this assistant, if you're a buyer, sends you properties for what you're looking for. If you're a seller, gives you information about what's happening in the marketplace, provides you with tidbits and information, and all that information is coming from you, the agent. So the customer thinks that it's you providing it to them, and so you're staying relevant, top of mind. That's what a CRM can do for you guys. And so, but there's a couple key things that you guys got to keep in mind. And really, what allows this system to work is, first of all, like we talked about, what is your most valuable asset? Your customer. Well, you have to have a database with the customer's information for the CRM system to work. And so, really, the number one key to making the CRM work is making sure you have your database together. Now, we all have a database, okay? I don't care if you're not using a CRM or if you are using a CRM. We all have a database somewhere. A lot of us keep it up here, or maybe in a notebook or on stickies stuck to various spots around the home or office. So we all have a database. The problem is that we don't have that database put together, centralized, and in a uploadable format to go into a CRM, and able to access that electronically. And so that often what I have found in my experience has been one of the biggest hesitations that agents don't use or aren't using their CRM is because they just haven't taken the time to put their database together in an electronic format. And so I really want to break this down for you guys, and get you guys to understand this, because we've been talking about this for quite a while. If you've been in real estate, you've had managers, brokers, owners, other agents say you really need to get your database together. And we all agree we do. We just have other more important things at the time than doing it. And a lot of times you hear about people saying, oh, I've got 800 people or 1,000 people or 2,000 or 5,000 people in my database. And you're like, man, I am never going to do that. I want to dispel that, guys. I don't want you to have an 800 person database. I don't want you to have a 1,000 person database, guys. Really, I want you guys to have a database of about 200 to 300 people. Okay, that's it. because I know from the research that I've done, as well as my work with Ninja, knowing that if you're staying in front of and in flow with anywhere from about 180 to 200 plus people, I know that that's going to be generating money for you, and a lot of money. And so here's what I don't want you guys to do. I don't want you guys to wait until next year to go, okay, this is the year that I start putting my database together. No. I want you guys to start today, okay? And I want you guys to think of it this way. If you guys will commit to 5 people a week, okay? 5 people a week, that's 1 person per work day of the week, okay? If you will do 5 people a week for 52 weeks, you're going to have 260 people in that database. And that's all we're looking for, okay? And that's 1 person a day going through. That's adding your mom, your sister, your dentist, the people who your listers that you have listings with right now, buyers that you're working with, your past customers. Guys, you can put this together very easily. But I want you guys to break it down. I want to make it easy for you. And I want you guys just to focus on 5 people a week. 1 person a day for the next 52 weeks. That's going to give you 260 people in your database. And if you guys will do that, I promise you, you're going to have a system in place that's going to be generating you anywhere from about an extra $200,000 to $300,000 a year. Now, how can I say that? Well, I know because I've been doing it, and I have that. And that's about what my system is generating, plus some, because I've got a pretty extensive database, because I have been doing the 52 people a week. Or a year, sorry, the 5 people a week. I've been doing that. That's just constantly. It's part of what I do. It's everybody who I meet goes into my database. Just everybody who I meet. Open house, sellers, buyers, they all go into that database. And so what I don't want you guys to do is get freaked out thinking you have to have huge numbers. If you guys will just do that, I promise you, it's going to yield huge dividends for you. And then once you get that database together and you start getting those people in there, then what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to spend 10 minutes a day for 5 days. That's 1 hour a week working on updating what we all agree to is your most valuable asset, right? Your most valuable asset is your customer base, your database. So why wouldn't you want to work? If that's your most valuable asset, why not spend 1 hour a week updating that, right? And it is a perfect time, guys, to make those forward calls, right? You have people in the database, call them, updating on when their birth date is. Hey, how you doing? Just want to touch base. How's the wife? How's the husband? How are the kids? Oh, you guys have an anniversary coming up. Start making notes and updating that database, okay? It's one of your most valuable assets, so keep working on that. And then, so work on that 1 hour a week, spending time, finding out information, finding important dates, important information. And then I want you guys to start organizing your database. And this is when it'll really kick in, because you're able, the cool thing about a CRM is that you're able to reach out to and communicate with mass amount of people in a fraction of the time, okay? I've got my database organized mainly by buyers, sellers, my referral source, and investors, right? And so when a hot property comes on the market, I'm able to fire that out to my investors, which I'm not going to send to my first-time home buyers. People are looking for a primary home, right? I know that they're not interested in those investment properties because that's not what they're interested in. So I'm not sending them information on stuff that they don't want info on. That's not important to them. Because what you'll find is that when you organize the database and you're sending people value, things of value, information, stuff they want and need, that's when they're really going to tune into you and start using you. So also spending time, in that hour a week to organize out your database so that you're able to, right now we got pertinent information going on in Oahu about this whole TBR. What a great time to, if you had all your sellers organized, that you could send out this information about that and how it impacts them, right? And that really is the power of the CRM, being able to communicate with mass amount of people in a short amount of time. So here's this is kind of the closing point I'm going to finish on, guys. And if you get this point, it's really going to drive home why it's so important to have this 24/7, 365-day-a-year system for you. I was guilty of this. This is one of the things that really struck home with me, and when I started using CRM, is I was really, really good at, if you were wanting to buy or sell a home in the next 30 days, man, I was on you, okay? I was following up, I was calling you, I was sending you information, getting you information on either homes coming on the market, if you're a buyer or if you're a seller, what was that in the neighborhood. I was just on it because that was my hot list, right? Well, in your sphere of people that you know, or in your database, people that you know, people who are buying or selling the next 30 days makes up a very small portion of it. A large portion of that business is people who are buying or selling in the next 180 to 365 days. The problem is when I would talk to people and they would say no, what I didn't get is no doesn't mean no never. No just meant no, not right now. And so they would drop into that never land of people who maybe I would think about to call every once in a while, or when I was flipping through my notebook, oh, I haven't talked to them in a while, need to send them something, and I'll reach out to them. The problem is I wasn't staying in flow with them, and other agents were. So even when it came time to sell, the agent who had been staying in touch with them and contacting them, that's who they used. All right, and so that's what's so important and why it's so crucial to put everybody into your CRM, because this thing will work for you even though they may not be ready to buy. You're still staying in touch with them, sending them valuable information, staying in touch with this whole piece of business that's not buying right now. They're not even in the radar of buying, right? But for me, they would just drop off and I would never talk to them. Now I do. They're hearing from me at least once a month, right? Because even people who say no, I stick them in my newsletter, right? So they're getting valuable information from me at least at a minimum once a month, and then usually on all the holidays, and then at least once a year with my annual real estate review. So now I've got the system in place to capture that piece of business. And without the CRM, there's no way I would have ever been able to do that. And so, think about these three things, if I could, that take away from. I want you to think about the CRM as a way of having an assistant 24/7, 365 days a year that's just working for you. We physically, mentally don't have the ability, even with 200, 250 people, to stay in touch with them that way. The other part about it is that huge piece of business, only probably out of the 260, probably only a quarter of them at most are going to be buying the next 20 to 30 days. And that's 75% of business that we're missing out on. And the CRM can do it. The other thing that it's going to do is it's going to help free up so much more of your time to be able to go out there and do those buying appointments, showing appointments, to do that follow-up. And when you do that follow-up, put that information in, because when you have a CRM and a database together where you can communicate at mass amount of times versus taking the time to write individual emails, it just frees up so much of your time and makes you so much more productive. Guys, so hopefully today you got 1 or 2 points. I didn't touch on that many. The other big point, guys, is this. Okay, please take this away from today. Start building your database today, and it doesn't have to be huge, guys. A 200 to 300 person database is going to generate $200,000 to $300,000 a year for you. All right, I promise you, if you'll do it, you'll see the results. And don't get overwhelmed by the amount. Start today. Start plugging them in. 1 person a day, 5 people a week for the next 52 weeks. A year from now, you're going to be so happy you did. I promise you. All right. That's what I got today. We'll open it up now to any questions and answers. People have questions about the stuff we went over. All right.